Hello and welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation with me, your host, Owen James. Guys, the channel that brings you your team every single day. Right. Obviously, Kilmarnock Sunday, important. We'll talk about that at some point. Fight stories today that are going to divide the fan base right down the middle. Could Ryan Kent, that's right, Ryan Kent, not Roy Kent, although I'd love to see Roy Kent in a Rangers jersey. Yes, I know he's a fictitious character before anyone points that out to me, because someone will, if I didn't say it. Wouldn't we love a Roy Kent character in the midfield for Rangers, kicking the living daylights out of people and some of the players that are underperforming? Anyway, let's get back to Ryan Kent. Ryan Kent, not Roy Kent, Ryan Kent. So Ryan Kent left Rangers under a bit of a cloud, really, given the fact that many perceived that he downed tools near the end of his time with the club, that he kind of gave up a little bit in that last season. Lead to him obviously being hooked at half time in the semi-final. Lead to him obviously, that not great performances the whole way through, and him missing the whole of the end of the season through an injury. I think the only game I can remember him playing really well in, I think the Dundee United game at home, maybe, and the Hibs game away at Easter Road, he played well towards the end of the season. But other than that, he was pretty poor. A player that we could have sold probably for a great amount of money had we sold him after the run to Seville, where, let's face it, Europa League, he tore up the opposition defences. In particular, Dortmund were absolutely petrified of Ryan Kent. Leipzig semi-final, played exceptionally well. I dare say that, the Bundesliga teams probably would have paid a fortune for him back then. But unfortunately, he did obviously leave for nothing and under somewhat of a cloud to some fans. Some fans still see him as a top player. Now, Kent has had his contract ripped up by Fenerbahce, terminated. Ripped up is kind of like a press term to make it more sensational, like he was actually called into the office by Jose Mourinho. Anyway, you are gone from this contract. Get out of my office. That's not a very good Portuguese accent, but you know what I mean. So he had his contract terminated. He is now a free agent. He is now free. So any club that wants Ryan Kent, it's free. Well, he's free. I mean, his pronouns might be it. I don't know these days. But you never know. So yeah, he's actually a free agent now, so he can be signed for nothing. So all it's going to cost you, obviously, is his wages and possibly a signing on fee. Now, this is, of course, have got journalists' tongues wagging, fans' tongues wagging. It's got social media all talking. Could Kent be destined to come back to Rangers? And for some people, it makes absolute sense at the moment. Rangers struggling. Rangers not converting a lot of chances. Rangers not scoring enough goals. Both left wingers currently out injured. We've got obviously Robbie Matondo out injured, arguably no great loss. Oscar the Glassman Cortez also out injured yet again. The man who's fast becoming the Colombian version of Kemar Roof. I could make some plant-based product joke there, but I'm not going to make any plant-based joke product, just in case YouTube don't like it. But Oscar Cortez obviously is out injured for the long term. No words as yet to what the long term actually could be, but we know with Rangers, long term pretty much means the season. Even short term, 4 to 6 weeks means about 3 months, doesn't it? 3 months to 6 months with our medical department. But the fact we're missing left wingers, to a lot of people, it could actually make sense for Rangers to go in and try and get Ryan Kent back to the club on a short-term deal, maybe to the end of the season or till January, if it is for the rest of the season, then obviously it frees up money to be spent in January on other areas of need. And there are still a large numbers of areas of need. We need a striker because we haven't got a good striker at the club. Please don't say Cyril Dessers, because the guy is just dreadful when it actually matters. Yes, he can do it against the shit teams, but he can't do it against the good teams. We need a right back. Well, we don't need a right back. We've got one, and Katz just needs to play. We need a number 6. We do need wingers, but it could be that priority is moved back if, of course, Kent was to come in. Now, he has been apparently looked at by a number of clubs. Burnley, Leeds of the Championship. Leeds were keen on him last summer after they lost Crysencio Somerville to West Ham. West Ham, who haven't started the Premier League. West Ham. Burnley, obviously, who are looking for promotion back to the Premier League, obviously looking as well for some experience to be brought in there. You've also got Lazio, who were close to signing him on deadline day, but that all collapsed at the 11th hour, a bit like our Samuel Edozie deal. Now he's free. Could he be a more attractive option to Lazio? There's a number of teams, still considering Kent and still consider Kent a decent player, a decent option. Now, I know amongst our fans, there's going to be a huge split down the middle. There's going to be those who don't want Kent anywhere near the club, who it'll be an over my dead body that we want him back. Not a chance. The fact that he obviously down tools in his final season, he's dead to those fans, not wanted. Yet there's other fans, obviously, that see him as an option, see him as a decent possibility, at least for the end of the season. You know, in the true give it till Giggsy to the end of the season comment from, I think it was Andy Mitten of the Manchester United fans, give it to Kent until the end of the season. Especially, obviously, if Oscar Cortez is going to be out long term and Robbie Matondo is little more than an impact sub. Look, it's an interesting one, isn't it? And also, you know, the fact that when this was mentioned a little while back to Philippe Clement at a press conference, he was very non-committal in terms of a yes or no to this deal. It wasn't that he straight away said no, straight away said yes, whatever. You know, it is a situation. Now, Kent is 27, so he's not exactly ancient. You know, it could be, the fact that we do put him on a, if he was to come back, you say, right, you've got until the end of the season, a chance to impress. It's on a prove it deal. You come back, you prove it, we'll give you a contract. Or we give him an 18-month deal, and then in the summer, if he's not what we want, we sell him and make some money on him. Kind of a bit after the fact. Look, it's an interesting one. It's certainly one, like I said, that divides the fan base. It is something that I think we do need to look at in terms of bringing in a winger. Whether that's Ken or whoever. The situation obviously with Oscar Cortez been out injured long term, with obviously Robbie Matondo being out injured. Ridvan's constant injury issues. I know he's a left back, but Yefte can play left wing if he needs to. If Ridvan was an option there, you could push Yefte further forward. Bayrami at the moment stranded out on the left. Maybe it's a possibility that Clement could seriously be considering, and Coppen too, that they bring Kent in, they put him on the left, they've got Tierney on the right, they can therefore put Bayrami in the 10 where he's supposed to be, and maybe get the best out of them. Maybe Kent will see this as a second chance, a chance to kind of put things right, to right the wrongs of the past, to right the wrongs of what's gone wrong. I mean, Kent has had a good career with Rangers in terms of the fact that, like I said, during the 2020-21 title winning season, he was one of the best players on the park. Celtic certainly hated him, which is always a good thing, to bring a Rangers player back who Celtic hate. You've also got the situation of the run to Seville. He was outstanding. When his contract ran down, he kind of gave up a little bit. But sometimes that happens with players in the last, few months of their deal. They don't want to get injured and risk any future moves. Yes, it's not great for the club they play for or the fans, but they've got they've got themselves and their families to protect. If Kent is throwing himself around and getting injured in any of those games, he might not get a deal. He might not get to make any money, and therefore, his family obviously have that issue there. Now, Kent has made substantial money in Turkey. He was on £45,000 a week in Turkey. Now, obviously, he's not going to get anywhere near that, either at Leeds, at Burnley, maybe at Lazio he would. Rangers, he certainly wouldn't. Maybe the fact that he has made considerable money out there, that would obviously make him more, able to do a bit of a deal with a club that sign him. Maybe a 15 grand a week or 18 grand a week or even a push 20 grand a week. Certainly even the fact that Rangers pay some absolutely useless players a lot of money, and some players that never play an awful lot of money. Robbie Matondo, £23,000 a week. Cyril Dessers, £27,000 a week. James Tavernier, £30,000 a week. Kieran Dow's, £16,000 a week. Maybe £15,000 to £20,000 a week for Ryan Kent is not so much of a stretch. Look, it's one I'd love to get your thoughts and feelings on, and I know exactly what's going to come back. There's going to be some of you that are like, yeah, give him a go. We've got nothing to lose. He's better than what we've got. There's going to be some of you that go, no chance, not a chance do we bring him back. Absolute show pony, don't want him back, etc., etc. Personal opinion, I'd bring him back. I really would. He's better than what we've got. Cortez probably is better than him, but Cortez is out. Matondo is average. McCausden's not a left winger. We haven't really got a left winger at the club, and Kent does like to come in from the left. Clement clearly likes the inverted wingers. Tierney on the right, inverting onto his left foot, for example. Look, if it's to the end of the season, I genuinely don't see what we've got to lose, and it could be that it's an attractive option for him. And I know there's been doubts and questions over him in the past, but I do think he's a player that does provide a danger. Is someone who does take away from others and make space for others. I did defend him a bit in the past, talking about the space he provided for Morelos and the space he provided some of the other players, because he pulled players to him. I don't know. It's up to you. I mean, let me know what you think. That's my personal thoughts. You may think I'm wrong. That's fine if you do. But look, I'd have him back. I really would. Anyway, thank you for watching Glasgow Rangers Nation. Please smash that sub. Please smash the like. Please drop a comment. Do a share. All that great stuff. And remember always, we are the people.